Hey guys, this is Melanie Hinds. I'm your fastest Iraqi dinar summer on the net. I'm on my porch again because the sun came out. Yay! I also did a membership live for members at any level. Also, we decided that we have a guest coming on next Monday on the Zoom. So even if you're a Miracle Manifestation member, we're going to allow you to get on that one too. So it's going to be a group Zoom for Miracle Manifestation members and Mastermind group members. So guys, we welcome you to that Zoom next Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And again, now we're on to your summary. And again, I put in my AirPods to hopefully the sound is enhanced and you can hear this well. So the first article coming out of Iraq, breaking news, is oil settles over 1% higher as Ukraine drone attacks target Russian supply. That's to be expected, guys. Then the next article is oil's decline checked by geopolitical tensions. Everybody's looking at the Fed meeting today and tomorrow, so we'll see if they've lowered interest rates. Dollar rebounds and profit taking is pushing gold lower. We went through all these detailed articles in my live stream this morning, so you can find the detail there. Basra crude climbs despite global oil stability. Basra's crude prices went up, which is good for the country, good for their currency. Dollar prices stabilize in Baghdad and drop in Erbil. That's to be expected. The markets are that way, especially until they're revalued. Once they're revalued, people will leave the dollar. I'm just saying, the parallel market will go away once they revalue their currency. That's just my opinion. The next article is gold prices drop in Baghdad and rise in Erbil markets. The next article is Iraq debt ratio edges up to 42.9%, and that's in 2024. So their debt ratio is 42.9%. But again, that's 2024. We all know that I started covering the CBI articles from January through current. And they have all said that they had a problem with their debt ratios and they need to work on their economic stability, and that they were going to imminently launch something that was going to help that. So what do you think that is? I don't know. I think it's a revaluation of the currency. They also launched their digital coin, which is obviously, of course, now that we know hindsight's 2020, to have a digital system that's run by AI in their bank and have the most world's advanced banking system. Of course, it needs a stable coin. So that's why that was released, and it's doing pretty well. The next article is record plunge in UAE oil stocks on Iraqi shortfall. They're saying that their reports, it says oil product inventories at the UAE's Farajo port have fallen to their lowest level on record, with industry data citing reduced fuel oil supplies from Iraq. Why is that? Well, I think they're waiting. If they're about to reprice it, wouldn't you want to not sell any until it's repriced if you know a repricing's coming? I'm just saying. Next article, dollar prices steady in Baghdad and Erbil. So if you see all the articles coming out are about the dollar prices, the gold prices, the fact that they don't have any oil, they don't have as much oil as they usually have, and they have a high debt ratio. I mean, that just all speaks to something's about to happen. Also, the fact that this summary, when I tried to load it yesterday, I recorded it at 12 p.m. and it took till almost 2 to load. Just say it. So it could be that I show you the big picture, and I know the bigger picture based on my work history. So I don't know. What do you think? Comment down below. So now we go to everybody else's summary. Sandy Ingram article, Iraq signs a $1 billion investment deal with the World Bank's IFC. If Iraq does good and eliminates corruption, stays on target, and completes the projects within the budget that is allowed, the IMF will surely, that's the International Monetary Fund, will surely, as the article said, recommend foreign investors. This is a test for Iraq. We know Iraq can pass that test. I'm pretty sure I went over that article a few weeks ago, but I'm glad she's picked up on it now. Claire says, article, Wilson, the U.S. administration intends to designate 4 Iraqi factories as terrorists. Quote, Republican Congressman Joe Wilson announced on Wednesday that the U.S. administration intends to designate 4 Iraqi factions as terrorist organizations. This action will give the U.S. prosecutors the ability to dry up the funds used by these terrorist groups. He said, urging the U.S. administration to designate the Badr organization as the largest Iranian-backed terrorist organization in Iraq. Wilson has previously called for making Iraq great again. Guys, we have no idea what pieces of the puzzle have to be put in place before they release it, because according to my sources and the FX article that I talked about this morning, it's coordinated political timing optics. So it's not in the CBI's hands anymore. It's in the political timing optics handles. Who's running it? Well, if the AI is running their banking system, and it's running our system, I'm pretty sure it's running our system too. What do you think? Comment down below. Next article, Frank 26. Oh my goodness. All of a sudden, this guy Trump comes along. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Donald Trump, these knuckleheads like Sunani would still be sitting here scratching their butts. I'm as serious as a heart attack. They would, because that's what they had been doing, hadn't they? Now Trump wants to get paid, doesn't he? Next article, Mark Z. I think things are rolling out quickly now. I think they are going through the security protocols they have to, along with the things we're seeing in Iraq. I agree, Mark. Mountain Goat had a post. I did this earlier on my live stream. It says, I want to first cover something. Today is very important to everyone in the timing of the RV, as we've all been looking for. This reinstatement and revaluation of the Iraqi dinar was part of a much larger plan. The pieces to the plan are all but in place now. This is not decades from now. It is happening now. It is part of a financial reset of the U.S. financial systems, which I've been talking about for a long time. And it will also eventually move downstream to other countries by the nature of it. But remember, it's America first. The U.S. Treasury is not going to let this opportunity pass by with Iraq. No one knows the entirety of the plan, as they are not sharing it. Everybody's closed lips. And Donald Trump with Melania is in the UK right now. Newshound Guru, Mountain Goat's part 2 is, this much we do know, and we know something is moving fast to shift the Iraqi dinar into the global arena for a purpose, and to reinstate its currency back to the currency trading. The dinar will be repegged to a basket along with other currencies, each supporting the other. We can already see the new Trump foreign policy with Iraq, and to bring huge investment opportunities to Iraq. Remember, however, there must be money enough for both nations, or the U.S. will not get involved. Just know there is a plan, and it is in motion. I agree. The U.S. has always had a plan with Iraq. When they devalued their currency to that point, and then they reinvested in it, and they're holding it in the U.S. Treasury. Donald Trump has said they have $35 million worth of Iraqi dinar. And he said he doesn't want to remove the troops until he gets paid. And they're removing the troops. I'm just saying, what more do we need? But they are in charge of the timing. We are not. All we are is, it's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to be invested in this. And then Frank 26 said, a lot has happened the last 3 days. I don't see the internet talking about anything of substantial value, just their predictions of when and how much. Sandy Ingram, the Iraqi dinar, or IQD, will only show up broadly on major retail Forex platforms when Iraq's banking system looks normal to the rest of the world. This means transparent, exchange rate clean, anti-money laundering controls, banks that can move money easily with foreign partners, and enough buyers and sellers if trades can happen smoothly. All those things we've been tracking on my channel, looking at all the detailed articles. All that is already done, in my humble opinion. Then you've got Pimpy. He says, sitting around planning for oil prices to go up is not even an option anymore. I told you when Trump got back into office, we're not going to be buying oil from people no more. He's going to go back to being the #1 energy exporter like he was before, and you're going to see oil prices drop. This is not what we want to see happen, because it's going to hurt Iraq big time. That's his opinion. What do you think? Comment down below. Guest boots on the ground, Maxis. I don't know who Maxis is, but I like his name. Or I'm assuming it's a him. I have been back in Baghdad for 2 months. The truth is, Iraq is in control of their destiny. Soudani is very insecure about his future. He's had several meetings with his predecessor trying to find out what he needs to do. I know he showed up on my live stream on a Sunday. What do you think? He really did. He did a couple Sundays ago. Frank 26, where can I find those redemption centers? He says nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Redemption centers are the figment of the imagination of a lot of people. You're going to go to a bank, that's it. I agree with him in one thing and not the other. The redemption center is a real thing. It does exist. Mark Z promotes them, Bruce promotes them. There are centers, and they've all clarified their position, but they still do exist. So you have choices. I like it that you have many choices. You can wing it on a bank of your own. You can go to a center, or you can look at my pinned comment down below and get educated. 3 steps. Fun Lou, it says, article, Governor Al-Alak discussed the CBI's banking sector reform plan being implemented in cooperation with international consultants, including Oliver and Wyman. Everything being discussed is the future team meaning not completed yet. They are discussing a banking reform sector plan being implemented in cooperation with Oliver Wyman. This does not mean completed. It is being implemented as in future tense. My friends, the banking sector reform isn't even completed yet. That's their opinion. I think they're wrong. I think it's all done because my military sources has said as much. So what do you think? It will be done for you as you think, so I hope the collective majority of us think it's done more than the ones that think it's don't. I'm just saying that's what's going to determine this thing. We are co-creators with Christ. You get what you focus on. Let's see. Nader from the Middle East. They're trying to get away from the oil revenue. They're working on a lot of things on a private sector to make it strong and make it the stability of the economy doesn't depend on the oil revenue, because oil goes up and down, and sometimes they lose money in oil when it goes down, especially when they have a budget that's $70 a barrel. The oil goes 60 or 50, they start losing money. He's absolutely right that they do have a lot of non-oil revenue. One of them is taxes, the other is tariffs, the other is people coming across the border. All of that adds up, and they've implemented a lot of that stuff. Plus, they're bringing all these industries into Iraq. So I think Iraq is in the best position it's ever been in. What do you think? Militiaman, what they did in Congress is a big deal. For many of you, the reality is setting in because you can't deny what's being played out in front of you. Guys, this is just a really big thing. It's a really big time for Iraq. What do you think? Comment down below. Also, there's a lot of Christians focusing on September 23rd as being, you know, some kind of date. What do you think about that? Guys, all I know is I'm going to be live at 5 to celebrate as if we believe this is already done. You want to join us? I'll put the link up as soon as this is loaded. See you later. Bye.